What is going on, everybody? Anon here, and happy Sunday. And it is time for this week's distribution update. So, for those of you who are new, we go through pretty much all the TCGs that I have any interest in or I know anything about or I've heard any updates. And then, if there are any other questions, feel free to add them in the comment section. But let's get started. So, it looks like we're going to start with some of the indies first. So, Godzilla card game looks like this comes out on the 25th. I've heard nothing from many distributors. I do have a couple boxes ordered. Have not heard much about the first set. It's still moving on TCG Player, and the boxes are like $65. I think they were like 48 from distro. But it would be really nice to see the Toho or whomever the producer is really start to push that game. Moving to Gundam, this one I do have a little bit of information on. While we have no allocations for STO6 and BPO2, BPO2 is the second set booster box. We have heard that there is a small reprint of New Type Rising, which is Gundam 1, and ST is the starter decks. So 1 through 4 were the 4 starter decks that came with the first set, which was New Type Rising. I don't have. I know I've seen the purchase orders. They are relatively small, probably 20% of the initial couple waves, so not huge. But I don't know the timing. Quite honestly, I'm not sure the market needs that much product right now because there has been a little bit of an influx on TCG Player. So I don't know if this wave has come in some distributors. I do have a couple of reps who are have been out for a little bit of time, so I haven't had a chance to speak to them. Riftbound. Here's a big one. I've gotten 2 allocations now. 3 of the majors have not allocated. I believe Southern has. They've either finalized or in the process of finalizing. Now, the good news is it appears that this is not as strict as what we saw with Gundam, where Gundam, it was basically you get product from your organized play distro or nothing, even though it wasn't quite true. There was a little bit, but it was tiny. Riftbound, it does look like, OP is going to be a big chunk, but you are able to get product from some of the other distributors. At least that's what I'm hearing so far from everybody, even though I don't have numbers from them yet. Because I think quite honestly, all the distributors weren't quite sure how UVS was going to handle this. So it'll be interesting. This week coming up is when all the allocations should be out. So moving on, Sorcery, for those of you who give a shit, apparently there is a video coming out Wednesday on TCG Player that is going to tell everybody when the set is going to be released, supposedly in 2025. I don't really care, but I'm just saying that because I have bashed it a couple times, so I figured I will put the news out. Let's see. World of Tanks, this is a new game. I don't know anything about it. I don't really have any interest about it. But the orders are due on 10/14. For those of you who don't know, this is a cell phone app, cell phone, tablet, whatever. I don't know anything about it. I do know I've seen the commercials on TV. They're annoying as shit. Moving on. So moving on to Weiss. The next couple sets, I don't really have any interest in them. They're not big IP-wise. Azure Lane. So I think I mentioned this last week or the week before. So Azure Lane Volume 2, it does look like it's going to allocation in for the majors, not because it is short printed. It is printed to order, and a lot of stores fail at a calendar, so they did not get their orders in on time. So what the distributors try to do is they try to make things right with their accounts that can't follow the rules, to the detriment of the folks that do follow the rules. So it does look like it's being allocated. I don't know how heavily yet. I haven't seen any of my numbers. I know with my orders, I am getting everything I ordered. It's just Weiss. It's pretty easy to put yourself in a situation where you're not going to get allocated, as opposed to going to one of the large distributors where you just don't know until things come in. But it does look like, and I've mentioned this a couple times, Nikki's almost up at $60 a box, and then there's not a whole lot of boxes till it gets to 70. This product has the most sell-through of anything I've ever seen in Weiss after the fact. It is still selling like 25 boxes a day, which is a lot. considering there was a lot on the market. So that's pretty interesting. So let's go to Magic, and I do want to talk a little bit about this. So we were supposed to get our WPN pre-order minimums on Friday. We got them from, let's see, from 3 distributors, one of which we've had them for a little bit now. We did not get them, or let me rephrase that. We've gotten them from 4 of the 5 distributors. We have not gotten them from the 5th. I would imagine we're going to get them Monday. So we'll see. It does look like the orders are strong for this, which is surprising because Spider-Man had a little bit of nerd rage rejection, even though I think things are swinging to the positive now. We also saw, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if they updated the picture or not, but on the Lorman collector box, yeah, they don't have it here. It does say may include serialized cards. So it looks like the serialized cards are back for Lorman. Again, I put out a couple videos. My theory now is when they had to change print facilities from Japan to the US, pretty much an emergency style due to the tariff risk. Because remember, all the booster boxes after Duskmorn were printed in Japan, and there was talk of like 100% tariff for a while in Japan, and there was all kinds of posturing back and forth. Wizard shifted printing of Edge of Eternities to the US and then Spider-Man to the US. And my thesis right now, because it does look like the print run of the headliner cards is about the same as what the of 500 would be for the serialized sets. They may not have had the ability to serialize those cards. Again, I am just thinking, the simplest solution is normally the right solution. It could be that they're stupid, but my guess is, why would you print the same number and not put the number on that everybody's expecting unless you just can't do it? And then the fact that you're going back to Lorwyn, presumably Lorwyn is being printed in Japan again. Now, they've obviously done serialized boxes in the past in the US, MH3, Lord of the Rings Holiday. So we'll see there. We did get, shifting gears, information on the Final Fantasy Holiday product, which of course went direct to consumer on Amazon before anybody in distro has it. So there are scene boxes, and there's what's called the Chocobo box. And the Chocobo box, I think, has 4 scene boxes. The scene boxes have three play packs. By the way, this is why we haven't gotten a play pack restock, because they were printing them to put in this product and to go direct to consumer. So a little bit of both. That's why it's taking them that long to get product printed. It's not the fact that they were backed up. It's the fact that they were printing and then they were redirecting the product to effectively the holiday bundles instead of play boxes to distribution. It's kind of obvious now, but at a couple weeks ago, it's like, oh, what the hell's wrong with you guys? The Chocobo box, it looks like it has 4 scene boxes. Oh, the scene boxes has 3 play packs, and then it has like 6 scene cards and the scene holder, and it's whatever. But the Chocobo box has what's called a Chocobo pack. It looks like there's 20 special arts. The pack has 2 of the 20. For those of you who didn't see or who saw the pictures from Atlanta, I think it was Atlanta Comic-Con, they're like the little rainbow fluffy art ones, I believe. So that's probably where the chase is going to be. Don't know for sure. They have not said anything about serialized cards. But it is interesting that the Chocobo number 70 through 77 has yet to be pulled. So they're sitting somewhere. They haven't been opened. It's clearly not a random distribution, because the odds of that happening, if they were in the wild, would be extremely, extremely unlikely. So potentially we're putting this product. We just don't know. So that being said, I do want to talk very quickly about the roadmap for next year. So it's Lorwyn. Let's see. Let's go to the end of the year, work backwards. So Star Trek's at the end of the year, and then there's an in-universes set. It's like Fractured some shit. And then in October, August, June, whatever, it's The Hobbit. And then there's another in-universes set, which is Return to Strixhaven, which I think is which that might be the June. It's weird because there's two sets in every quarter except for Q3. So they've clearly lined their sets up to the numbers that they think they're going to hit this year, with Q3 being the lightest. So there's 7 sets next year as opposed to 6 this year, I think. And then there's a Universes Beyond unannounced set that is coming out in March. And the rumor is it's going to be something Nickelodeon, something Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I think, as I mentioned to all you guys, Graded Guard did come out with some Harry Potter branded product that releases in October. October would be the time where the spoilers come out, and all of the pre-orders are due for a March Universes Beyond set, which could presumably be Harry Potter rolling into Strixhaven, or it's just fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I'm overthinking it. So just pay attention over the next couple days, because I'm sure that it's going to get spoiled one way or another. So lastly, moving to Pokemon. We've talked through all these items. I do want to mention something for those of you who are actually sitting this long into the video. I've mentioned in my videos multiple times that the Pokemon Company has said on numerous occasions to distribution that Q1 of 2026 they do free up print space in their printing capacity. I would expect the middle of end of Q1 of 2026 for them to really start to reprint this stuff hard. I don't know for sure, but I am guessing that we're going to start to see booster boxes, and if it's anything like they've communicated, it's going to start with the eye block. My guess is probably they're not going to do much with Journey, but presumably Destin, Mega 1, and certainly Mega 2 we're going to get absolutely hammered with restocks. But that remains to be seen. The only other item on here I do want to talk about was there was an 11-pack Paldean Fates EX box spoiled. I do know for certain that is going out to Walmart. I don't know if it's going through distribution. I believe the release date is December 26th. I'm hoping it goes through distribution and not just Walmart. But if it's a Walmart exclusive, that's going to be kind of shitty for a Paldean Fates drop right before, a couple months right before it rotates out. So stay tuned on that one. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on there. That would be a little unusual. But also, a December 26th drop in Pokemon is absolutely unheard of, at least in recent memory. So, anyway, guys, hopefully you liked the video. Like the video, subscribe, join the Discord, and have a good Sunday.